Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Andrew Fillion. I'm back at it with another video. I got a really cool one for you guys today. I'm going to be going through my very first YouTube video I ever shot. I've been on YouTube here for 2 years now, and I'm excited to say I've built a new recording studio, and I've got a lot of new gadgets that I never would have dreamed of having 2 years ago when I first started. I thought it'd be fun if to celebrate this new milestone for me, we went back and watched one of my first videos I ever posted, and we'll find out here shortly how far have I come in the past 2 years. Do I agree with some of the things I was saying back then? And on top of that, how was my presentation value? We'll find out here in a second. We're gonna get things started. Let's get right into it. Let's straighten this out. All right, right off the bat, I don't do intros anymore because intros, it's like this, all right? People on YouTube have very short attention spans ever since TikTok and Instagram Reels came out. You don't have time to have an intro anymore. Your video has to get started right away or you're going to lose people. So I think it's nice right off the bat I had kind of like a teaser thing, but the teaser of me turning a camera on isn't enough of a teaser to actually get anyone to care. What I do now, I just quite literally jump right into the video with no like gimmicks or anything. I sometimes don't even really do intros. I just hit the button and go. Anything less than that is going to lose people, and that is basically how you kill your video before it even gets off the ground. All right, welcome. If you're watching this, it means I finally got around to filming my first video. So, to kick things off, I can already tell that I basically didn't do any editing on these. We'll see. I'm here to bring you guys fitness content. I want to show you guys the best way to grow muscle. I want to show you guys how to handle nutrition. I also kind of want to show you guys my own personal journey. So to give you guys my background right up front, this is so weird for me. I don't almost ever watch my videos after I post them. That's not entirely true. I watch them when I edit them, but I don't like go back and watch. So it's like very like uncanny valley for me to watch these, especially with how nervous I am. You can tell, you know, I'm holding in my breath almost like I'm tensing up. And then the microphone on there sucks. So I'm just sitting here thinking like, man, this video is really quiet. But this was before all this stuff. I didn't know how to properly sound a video. It was my first one, and it was shot on an iPhone. I used to be really overweight, and I couldn't understand why. So, like many of you, I got into the gym. I started lifting weights, and even though I started putting on muscle, I wasn't losing the body fat, and I could not understand why. Well, over many years, I have finally gotten to a place where I really understand nutrition. So I want to show you guys how I lost a ton of. That's definitely true. I basically have done everything self-taught. So I've never had a bodybuilding coach, even when I was doing shows. If I wanted to know something, I would go out of my way to research it myself. And I basically did that. I got everything that I needed to know on my own. And so that's kind of what eventually led to all this. And yeah, I used to be chunky. I went through another phase in my life that was, we'll get into that later. Wait, I started out at my very heaviest at 240 pounds. I got all the way down to 170 for my first bodybuilding show. Now, I have gone from the worst shape of my life to the best shape of my life. And I want to show you guys everything that I know so that you can do it for yourself. That's going to be exercise, nutrition, and other lifestyle habits that you can develop. I think that was my first jump cut. It only took until a minute and 28 into the video for me to do my first jump cut. I'm going to be unnecessarily hard on myself since this is me. So there's no one to insult here. It's going to help you along on your journey. So when I was overweight, I decided, you know what, I'm going to sign up for a show. And once I did that, all the pieces started to fall into place.
in my mind, I knew that I had this thing that I was
That's
signed
also
up
true.
for. I had to do it. And so I started researching as much as I could about bodybuilding. So to cover things off right up front, I want to...
It's definitely true. When you sign up for something, it makes it real, right? Everybody wants this, everyone wants that, but there's no deadlines, there's no urgency. Once you establish some, semblance of urgency, you find a lot of the things that you weren't doing just kind of like happen because the fear of failing is your primary motivator.
Explain to you guys 2 of my training principles that I use myself, and I think they would do a lot of help for you guys too. So my first principle is I like to think about energy on a rating of 100 to 0. So before every single set, whether it's my first set or my 5th set, I start out with an energy rating of 100, all right?
Okay,
Now,
interesting.
my
Tell me more.
goal is to get my energy down to as close to 0 as possible. A lot of other people are going to call this failure, but in my own mind, doing it this way helps me think about, the actual exertion of the muscle where I'm not just chasing a number, for example, a rep, or chasing a weight, and more total muscle exhaustion.
There was a weird edit in there that I'm wondering, like, did something not... Anyways, point is, that's actually pretty solid advice. I still agree with most of that. I think I could articulate it a lot better now. Basically, training to failure, if you are lifting very heavy, you might not be able to get an extra rep out, especially if we're talking around like the 3 to 5 rep range. But if you're doing like 20 reps, getting to failure on 20 reps is a lot more efficient than getting to failure on like 4 reps. I basically break all this down with that. Same ideas. I haven't really changed the idea, but I do think I've evolved the analogies so that it's not so like heavy-handed. But yeah, you start out every set at 100 and you want to get to as close to 0 as possible.
So let me give you an example. Let's say you're about to go do some bench press and your goal is to hit 5 reps. Now, each rep that you're able to do costs you 17 units of energy.
Okay.
If you take 17 times 5, that's 85. You're just shy of being able to do a 6th rep, but you just don't have the energy to do it.
Yeah, well, I definitely agree with that.
In my mind, there's a problem here. You've worked yourself to 85. You've still got 15 units of energy left over, and if you do this repeatedly, week after week, you're leaving so much progress on the table. So I like to instead train with the idea that
look at those special effects are just wild.
As close to 0 as I can. And there's no right answer here. I can use heavy weight, I can use low weight. There's plenty of tools at my disposal, but the thing that really matters is getting to muscle exhaustion. Principle number 2.
I can tell right there that I must have had the hiccups or something because I'm like... so this is something that'll happen to me a lot when I'm filming, is that in order to not have cotton mouth, because that happens while shooting, I'll have like some water beforehand, and since I drink a lot of sparkling water, a lot of my water is bubbly. So I end up getting the hiccups all the time when I shoot. This is something that still happens to this day. Not happening right now for some reason. I think it's because, I don't know. I haven't had it happen a single time since I've been live, but I think I've also just gotten better at this. This is quite literally the first time talking to a camera, is the first video. And so I didn't really know what I was doing yet. And it's really weird. You think you'd be like, if you're a talkative person, it's like, oh, I can talk to crowds, I can talk to people all day long, no problem. Sitting down and talking into a lens, it feels so weird. I've gotten used to it. Right now, I'm staring into a camera. If you're watching this video in the future or live or what have you, you might think that I'm talking to you. But if you're physically me, you're looking into a camera. So it's like, what do you say? How do you talk to a camera? It's a skill. You have to work at the skill. You have to develop it. And right here, I basically had 0 skill at talking to a little black circle.
I don't like a bunch of ambiguous studies.
I hate studies. To this day, I hate them.
They're always citing...
We're not going to finish the video if I keep pausing. But Here's the thing about studies I really just don't like. I don't like them then, and I don't like them now. I don't know who's doing the study. I don't know who they're studying on, and I don't know who's paying for it. Okay, there's a lot of unknowns with studies that me, as the non-studier, I can't answer. So like if some headline goes out on Instagram or whatever, YouTube, oh, there's a new way to lift weights and the science shows this. I don't know any of that. All I have to go on is some peer-reviewed study where I don't know the peers, I don't know who reviewed it, I don't have any of that information. So it's basically just blindly following some article that you read. And a lot of the times people use these types of articles to win arguments with other people. If you have a truly inquisitive mind, you'll go out and get the data yourself. I've always believed that. I'll believe my own experiences more than I'll believe some journal entry any day, because at the end of the day, who knows who's right in the damn thing. All right, let's keep going.
The problem I have with that is I'm not there when the study's being conducted. I don't know who's conducting that. I don't know who the sample sizes are. For all I know, the people that's being sampled in these studies could be high school teenagers that have never lifted weights before. And that's actually probably what it is. So I'm not a big fan of that. Instead,
Literally just said that.
I like to be
2 years in the
size of
future.
one. I am my own experiment. I have an engineering background, and so I approach the gym the same way. I do X and Y happen. All right, so not everything
This
I
is a
do
trip,
is going
man.
to work out every time.
This is a trip. All right, this is good. This is good for me to be like, okay, it's been 2 years, but the things that I believe haven't really changed.
But I'm able to take the things that work and keep them, and the things that did not work and discard them. This gives me a wide tool set. I don't pigeonhole myself into any one specific
That was a bad edit.
style of training or style of diet. I'm using everything that I think works.
That was a good edit.
I'm getting rid of all the things that I don't. For me, this is a great way to actually learn because I'm open-minded to everything while at the same time being cautious of everything. So I like to do my own research. I am a sample size of one. That might not be the most YouTube popular thing to do, but that's how I'm going to do it, guys. I like to experiment on myself. Now, next thing.
Yeah, let's
I
bring
really
it
wanna
to me,
cover
Pappy.
this off because it's super important. Supplements are not that big of a deal. I do take supplements, and I will in time show you guys what I take.
The only supplements you need, I don't care who you are, salt, potassium, magnesium. That's it. I mean, maybe you need vitamin D or zinc. But the thing is, if you're just eating the good food, all the food that you eat has vitamins in it already. This is going to be like a 7-hour video if I keep pausing it. But let me just give it to you like this. A steak, like a New York strip steak, has enough vitamins in it to fill 10 to 15 multivitamins. A red juicy steak has all the B vitamins 1 through 12. Oh, now I finally got the hiccup. 45 minutes into the stream, I finally had my hiccup. So the red meat, it's got the B vitamins, it's got the minerals, iron, zinc, selenium. It's got all of it. Just eat your red meat. That's why people talk about carnivore. Carnivore is cool because of the steak and the meat, but just eat the meat and then eat whatever you want after. Just eat whatever you want after. You want to have some ice cream, whatever, dude. Just have the steak first.
But I want to make sure that everyone knows supplements are not a game changer. You got to get the diet down first. And once your diet is in a really good place, then you can incorporate supplements to give you that extra few percent. It's like getting extra credit on a test. You're not going to pass the class with extra credit, but if you've already got an A, that extra credit could be what bumps you up to an A+. So that is what I am going to be showing you guys. And I want to make sure I'm upfront about this. I'm not a big fan of branding.
I hope this guy makes it big, dude.
A lot of people after your money, they're selling you things you don't need. If someone's got a price tag on it, it's probably not for your benefit, but for their benefit. So with that, I'll show you guys what I take, but you don't have to buy anything that I show you, and I'm not affiliated with anybody. I want to make sure that's up front. And to that, I also don't want to be selling programs. I don't want to be selling diets. I want to show you guys what works because
Oh, I want to make a video on that so bad. You ever open up Instagram and the first thing is like, you probably somebody who lives on planet Earth and you probably make between 10K and 20K a month, but you just can't lose that It's like, dude, all these influencers are reading the same scripts. It's so painfully obvious. For all the stupid ads that I see on YouTube, I couldn't possibly sign up for all of their programs. There's thousands of them. I can't swipe through them fast enough. I've never made those and I never will. It's pathetic.
I spent so many years chasing the YouTube rabbit hole, getting spun around, and I never really had the right information. And now that I do, I want to share it with you guys. Another thing. So I've done 4 bodybuilding shows. I'm going to be working
7
on my 5th show in 2023, and I want to use this channel as an amazing opportunity to show you guys what I do on myself to get in the absolute best shape possible. Now with that, there are going to be some things you may not want to do, so don't do them. But I want to at least show you what they are so that you could, in theory, if you
Look
want
how
to,
agreeable this guy is.
copy
He's so
the things
agreeable.
that I do and get the same results that I get. Now some people might say, whoa, hold on, everybody's different, it doesn't work that way. I'd like to present this counter argument. When you're in the military, you got guys of all different heights. When they're doing the fitness test, they say, okay, the guy is 6 foot, he's got to run a mile, but this guy over here who's 5'10", he only has to run 0.9 miles. No, they don't do that. They give everyone...
I almost paused and told the analogy before I got to, but then I remembered. I was like, "Oh wait, I remember saying these things. I'm probably gonna say them in this video."
the same programs. And some people are going to excel more than others, and that's okay. Not everyone is going to be getting first place, but I want to stress that this whole we are unique and we all have different requirements, it's way overstated. In fact, I almost don't really believe in it at all. I think you guys could have the same results that I've had using the same strategies that I use. It's going to be up to you guys if you want to do them or not, but I want to at least show them to you. So that's going to be the point of my channel, and I hope you guys really like the content that I'm going to be bringing towards you. My
Love
next
it,
few
dude.
videos, one of them is going to be a shopping video, so I'm going to show you what kind of foods to buy and which kind of foods not to buy. Soon after that, I'm going to bring you guys
videos took
my
so long to
favorite
shoot.
gym exercises and how to mechanically perform them.
An entire
for
freaking
max
weekend
muscle
to shoot
growth.
those damn
So with
videos.
that, I'm really happy to launch this channel. This is my first video, so if you like what you've seen so far,
This is like
give me a
my
like, leave a comment below, and
150th.
of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you could hit the notification bell, once I start producing more informational content, that'll be very helpful for you guys. So with that, that concludes my first video, and I hope to see you guys soon.
Look at that outro. Wow. All right, well, that was a trip. I'm definitely not used to watching myself talk for 10 minutes, which was interesting. What's cool is I still agree with a lot of the stuff that I had to say back then, but what's really interesting and really cool to me now is like how much more stage presence I now have. So right now compared to back then, for me it was like painfully slow. I'm like, man, just like get to the thing. Just get to the thing. Most cases, like I wouldn't have let that video keep going, but just because I wanted to do this, like, you know, this is where I started, this is where I am now. I thought that'd be a cool thing for me to do. In general, the pacing of my videos have gotten a lot faster. I've gotten a lot better at the presentation value. This is almost exactly 2 years ago. Let me make myself small again. So yeah, 2 years ago, what was the exact? Oh, wow, actually, almost exactly December 21st. And right now it's December 29th. So I'm cool with calling that exactly 2 years if you guys are. I think it's pretty cool to be able to go back and like see old footage that I've shot from way back when. Something I've been thinking about a lot lately is, like when my parents show me photo albums, it's like I can see what my parents looked like when they were 25, when they were 30, but it's always like in a photograph and you're always posing, right? Like it's like I'll stand here and smile. So I don't really get to see what my dad was like when he was 25. I don't really get to see what he was like when he was 30. But if I have grandkids or kids or whatever, or even if I'm old, I want to watch my own videos. I now have almost 150 long format videos that I can go and watch just from the 2022 to 2024 time period, where I can get a pretty good idea of what I was like and what was I doing back then. Even if as a YouTuber I never make it to like the big leagues, I don't get to the point where I'm making like crazy money doing this, or become famous or whatever. It's pretty cool that I've been able to document my life over the past 2 years. And I think that in itself is a good enough reason to get into this. If that's something that maybe you're also interested in, I would say do it for that reason. But definitely start on an iPhone and don't start buying equipment until like you're ready to, because you ain't gonna be making money for a long time. Anyways, that's that. If you're watching this live, I'm gonna make my exit thing so I can turn that into an actual video. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget to like the video. Also subscribe to the channel. I've got new videos coming out every Monday, so be sure to check those out. And also, through this new platform I'm on, I'm going to be live streaming a lot of videos as well, so I hope to see you on my live platform. Catch you guys in the next one. I've been Andrew Fillion. Peace.